Welcome to our new series, the 200 Movie Challenge. Our goal this year is to watch 200 movies that we haven't seen yet. If you want to listen to the full podcast where this clip is from, the link will be in the description. Now enjoy today's movie.
But all right, Soto, let's move to the extra movie I saw this week. Different vibe, and a movie that your wife told you that you've seen, but you don't remember. So we'll find out if you actually did watch this. It's okay if you didn't. I just felt like this would have been something you might have seen. So I don't know. I was trying to find something, to be honest with you. And originally I was going to watch Until Dawn. But then I found out I did not have a high enough subscription and I wasn't going to pay more. I'm like, well, fuck it. I need to find a different movie. And a lot of times, so I go to Tubi, I go Netflix, I just go to all of them and I just say, what jumps out? And I was actually on Disney Plus. Now I don't have Hulu. I just have Disney Plus. And I just pay the cheap one just because Dr. No. You have to pay separately. It is they have like a special bundle you can do by the same company. But this movie came on and says presented free, as courtesy of Hulu. So they were basically, even if you didn't have Hulu, you could see this for free. And I kind of quickly saw a preview that popped up. I'm like, okay, I'm intrigued. I will play it. Just press play, as you like to say. So I saw a movie from 2019 called Alita Battle Angel. I keep wanting to say Fallen Angel. I don't know why, but it is called Alita Battle Angel. Very futuristic sci-fi kind of movie. So this movie takes place in 2563.
Okay, that's definitely in the future.
Just definitely way in the future. It's just going to give you a quick intro. 300 years after the fall. Now, what happened in the fall? You said basically something happened. They don't fully explain, but basically most of the world, the air was unbreathable. A lot of people died, and a lot of people tried to get to this one area where it was fine. Like this one little section. So most of the world died, but this one area, you can strive and you can survive, and they just made a home out of it. Now they're basically on the ground just fighting to survive, and then there's that floating city in the sky. We've seen countless times in these kind of movies, like, oh, this is where like the special people live. But how do you get there? We don't know. We just got to earn your way up. Place called Zolan. So anyhow, so basically a very cyberpunk kind of feel to it. So this movie also has Christoph Waltz, Jennifer Connelly, Jackie Earle Haley, a very great supporting cast. So this doctor, played by Christoph Waltz, is kind of going through the scrapyard, and he finds basically a head and the chest, and he's like, well, you're still alive. And basically he brings it back. He runs a clinic, where people or cyborgs can basically get their parts fixed. He kind of does it for free because he's trying to help the city. So he's kind of like in with all the good and bad guys. But basically he rebuilds this young girl that he finds using parts that was meant for his daughter. His daughter was in a wheelchair. She unfortunately passed away before he could put her together, so to speak. She accidentally got killed, so he used the parts that were meant for his daughter to rebuild this android. Because, yes, her brain was still functioning, and so was her heart. He also finds out that her heart is somehow 300 years old. That's a part of the story which kind of gets explained, but doesn't fully get explained by the end of this movie. So this movie, as we kind of talked about beforehand, was directed by Robert Rodriguez. I know you have a love-hate relationship sometimes with him, but it was also written and produced by James Cameron. So there was a lot of star power behind this.
Wow, so he wrote the script, okay.
Yeah, so he wrote it. But basically, so she gets built, and she has, now she's trying to live in the city. It's almost like she doesn't remember where she came from. She doesn't remember any events that have happened. Because obviously since she lost her body, that's where like the memory core is. So he can't retrieve it, but it's like your brain might start remembering things of who you were or who you are. But he's like, there's no way. So she's basically trying to, now figuring out a new life, but doesn't know where she come from. She gets a love interest, a human. And, so they kind of, this is okay. Human and androids are always together. And he finds out that she was found in the scrapyard. He's like, wait, if you're found in the scrapyard, you came from up above, basically that floating city. And he's like, you don't remember anything. The only way, Soto, you can basically get to the above area, Solemn, the special area, is if you become champion of this game called Motorball, which is basically to me like roller derby and death. That's the best way I can explain it. Roller derby with Andrew, but you know what roller derby? You're on skates. You got a ball. You got to get in the hoop, but there's no rules. So basically, it's roller derby and death. So yes, when you're a cyborg, you want to get up above. But so this is a. So here's my.
I never saw this movie. I'm gonna say this right now. Like, if I saw this movie, then I must be losing my mind. So, I've never seen this movie.
There's kind of two parts to this movie, and I will talk more about the part I liked, and now the issue I have. And I know you love teenage angst, Soto. That's why I'm like, this just feels like a Soto movie. But yeah, so not only is she trying to figure out, make a life for her down there, but she wants to find out who she is. But at the same time, the doctor, kind of now her new father figure, he's basically a warrior hunter. And there, some cyborgs take it upon themselves just to collect bounties and stuff like that. And, the doctor's just trying to keep the area safe. So, but obviously she turns out to be this crazy fighting machine. Like, she knows, I don't even know what for Kung Fu. She can just in one swift kick, cut a cyborg in half. So there are some cool action scenes, cool visual effects in this. The problem being, Soto, is, this is based on a manga, and this was meant to be a trilogy. Like there's they give this an ending, but you don't learn anything about the island up above. There's a lot more information, and so I felt like this movie was incomplete.
That sucks.
And originally I was like, okay, because they said they don't know if there's going to be a second one, but James Cameron finally came out and says he's trying to work on a script, but he's got the third Avatar movie coming out too. So who knows? But they said they're filming 2 and 3 back to back. So I'm excited because I want to see where they go with this character. Because again, there was a lot to this, and it's very hard for me to explain with just everything going on. Because she wants to go up above to learn, so hence why she takes part in this motorball competition. But basically someone's like, she needs to be dead, and there's a bad, like, everyone's after her. So like I said, the special effects were fun, the fight scenes were fun, and there was something to this movie that I enjoyed, but unfortunately it felt incomplete, and I was a little bit sad by that. If they do a second and third, or at least a second, give us a little bit more backstory about her, I feel like, okay, because I want to know, but if it's your first movie, like, you almost need to end it with the possibility of no sequel.
Yes,
because
it's guaranteed.
Because that way, like, okay, we can worry about a sequel later. I know with a lot of manga, I keep saying that wrong. Sorry, there is so much to it. I don't read it, but yes, I know there's a lot of history, a lot of story to this, and you can only do so much. But at the same time, you need to find a good ending part. And I watched this, I'm like, okay, if there was never a second and third movie, you would get, I am a little pissed. Like, I don't know, at least I'm hoping they do a second one. There's just a lot of incompleteness. And I think that's what hinders this. It had a lot of hopeful, I started watching this, I was into it, and I'm watching it, I'm like, this is good, and I'm enjoying it. And then I stopped, I'm like, I kind of want more for the wrong reasons. I'm like, what about this? What's happening with her, and that, because the guy gave her his daughter, the daughter's parts, and then there's the mother who's supposedly from up above too, and she's the one that's sending everyone to kill her. And so it's like, why? What is so important? What is going on in this basically island in the sky that no one can get to for some reason, at least not that they showed us, that people want to get there, that they feel like it's a better life? Because they don't explain it. There's a small tease, and I'm like, okay, why? Like, this movie felt incomplete. Terrible. It is.
I hate that.
But if this is one of those things, like, if they do a sequel and they do it properly, because everyone involved wants to do the second movie. Basically, we're in. Robert Rodriguez wants to do it. He's just waiting for James Cameron to write a script. So, but according to him, there is a second and third, and they're filming it back to back, and that should finish it. So yeah, Soto, I don't know. This is very hard because, like I said, I did enjoy. I was into this. Like, this is a little over 2 hours, and everything about her. The actress that played her, I don't even Rosa Salazar. I know nothing about her. She did amazing. Like, the acting for what this movie was great. It kept me going, but then it just ended. I'm like, fuck, I still have so many fucking questions, and I am pissed. So I don't know.
No, unless you're Hunger Games or Lord of the Rings, or Harry Potter, where that it's going to be a franchise, like without a doubt.
Correct.
You have a responsibility to answer. It's okay to have some questions unanswered, like bigger picture questions, right? But the questions you present in the like arena and the space of the movie that you're watching, like there needs to be satisfaction in a traditional way.
So,
And if everything's just set up for a sequel, then it's like you didn't do your job as a movie.
I guess the hard part is like, where do I rank this? And I did enjoy it. Um, hmm, but it did make me mad.
Happy Gilmore 2 did not make me mad. I want to go on record.
No,
It did not make me
it didn't. But this is, I'm honestly in the Happy Gilmore 2 area right now. I'm just looking like at the movies above and beyond, below it.
mad.
And this
Mhm.
might go a little below it, but I do mean by a couple. But this could get revisited, so I'm not gonna lie. I know I just recently saw this a couple days ago, and if I think about it some more, it just like because
I mean, I'll tell you what, I'd rather watch this movie than the Ron Clark story. That's for sure.
okay,
That's
well
just
this
me,
isn't
though.
going that high.
But I'm just saying it like if somebody was like, "Would you rather watch the
No,
Ron
that's
Clark
correct.
story or Battle Angel Alita?" I'd be like, I think I'm gonna go with the cyberpunk
No,
shit on
there's
this one.
nothing wrong. In again, there's nothing wrong with this movie. It just does not have a complete ending.
Which is a big that
And
you need that.
yeah,
You can't walk outside your house without pants on. You can, but you shouldn't.
all right.
Yeah.
I
You feel it? Like you feel
I'm very
confident?
this. All right, so this is gonna be weird.
Ron
I,
Clark.
I at this moment, and this could really
Fucking
change
hell.
because everything is so different. So no, it's like I have a comedy, I have a horror movie, I have a suspense.
Of
Like
course.
when you look at a group and you're just like they're so bad and so different, for different reasons. And we joke about this every time. Like so, this is my 64th movie. Think about that person.
Yeah.
I've seen 64 fucking movies this year. All right.
And
Right
you've
now, I'm putting
cataloged
this at 36.
all of them.
I'm putting this at 36. Right now, it's a
Okay.
little under Happy Gilmore 2. It's under Time Cut, but above Escape
Yeah.
Room. Because I feel like Escape Room is
Okay.
another movie similar where there's a bigger picture. Escape Room had more of an ending, but Escape Room at least teased you. Like, hey, there's something more. It didn't, you're like, okay, and there is actually a sequel to it. But the movie as a whole, I did like Alita better than Escape Room. But yeah, so right now, I think it's going to sit at 36. I think that's a decent spot at this
36.
moment. It could change because I'm looking at, like it's like you look at these 20s and 30s and you never know how you're going to feel afterwards.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
at least, like you
I
said,
guess things change. Yeah.
well, I've messed around with my list. I'm like, I'll move this up one, I'll move this down one. Like I just kind of make my new changes as every now and then I look. Nothing big. I think when I hit 50 is when I really did an overhaul on my list. I'm like, all right, let me sit down.
Mhm.
And so this could definitely change, as I said, with more time or if I think about other movies. But like I said, I feel like it belongs with the Escape Room because there's a very good concept. I did enjoy the movie as a whole better than that, though Escape Room ended a little bit better, but it's the same thing that that a sequel needs to come. And I'm glad, like I said, at least from what I've read, there is a second and third movie coming. They just don't have an official date. So that's good for this franchise, and hopefully it does it justice. So, because there's so much more to this story that they can tell, so much more about her backstory, which they didn't fill in. But it was enjoyable. Like I said, I mean, it did not feel like a 2-hour movie. I was in it. I was even the teenage angst and love story. Oh no, he's trying to steal cyborg parts, but he's in love with the cyborg. That kind of shit. He's like, I don't know what to do. I love her, but I got to do my job, kind of thing. So this honestly feels like a you movie. Don't go out and rush and see it. I know. I mean, I didn't make you see Slaw, and you saw Slaw. But like I said, when this year's done, and we're not trying to like force ourselves to watch one or two movies. Sometimes, like we gotta watch it. If
I
this
know.
happens to be on, and you're like, I got nothing else going on, check it out. I'm not saying you need to do it for this, because there's something. I can't obviously say what Sarah said because it's not like I live with you and I'm like, yeah, you definitely watch this. But again, as I was starting this and as I was watching this, I'm like, this feels like something Soda would have watched, like this his kind of movie in a way. And I'll leave it at that. So,
I mean, amazing. Maybe I will rewatch it. Maybe I'm due for a rewatch on this film. We'll see.
I'm
Maybe I was
just
so
curious what
angry.
she thought. Does she know what it's about? Like how I need a little backstory to the you and Sarah discussion. Like what makes her believe that you saw this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You are also married, like I am, right?
Yes, of course. I have a
There's
ring.
a certain point where you just give in, and you just go, "You're right. It's not worth it." Like I know the truth. I know that the truth is that I've never seen this movie. She thinks that I have, and I can't convince her otherwise. So I'm just like, you pick your battles, right?
No, I completely
So
understand. I guess I was just trying
she
to.
says I've seen this, and then I just go, "You're right. I have seen it."
Did you see it with
That's
her?
it.
I mean, obviously, she thinks you saw it with her. Because
Probably. Look, I have drank a lot in my life, so
it's true.
there is 100% a possibility that I saw this blacked out and I don't remember it. Very much like, one time somebody ate the Chinese food chicken fingers out of the fridge and she claimed it was me. And I could take a lie detector test and I'll tell you it wasn't me. But like, I swear to God, but all the evidence points to me. I wasn't there for it. I was probably blacked out. So, like, both things can be true. So maybe I was just on a drunken bender and I blacked out and decided to watch this movie and I don't remember it. But I'm telling you right now, if I took a lie detector test, put a polygraph to my fucking arm or however the fuck it works,
You would pass.
I'll say this. I don't remember this movie.